Teenage boy sits in the interrogation room, his mother beside him, oddly indifferent. Detectives prepare to hear the truth behind a murder that shook the entire city.
This case hits like a punch to the gut. A teenage boy, barely old enough to drive, sits in an interrogation room. His mom right there, but acting like she's miles away. How does a kid end up here, wrapped in a murder that shook a whole city? It's not just about the crime, it's about the lives unraveling and the choices that led to this moment. You can feel the weight of what's coming, and it's chilling.
We just use it because it's more comfortable than our site. So anyway, saying that, I just want to make sure you understand your rights and everything. I just want to go over each and every one of them, make sure that you understand. We are investigating the offense of a homicide. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that? Okay. Anything you say can be used against you. You understand that? Okay.
Yes.
You have the right to call or speak with a lawyer before answering any questions and have him or her present during those questions. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can't afford an attorney, one can be appointed. You understand that? Okay. You also have the right to talk to a parent, guardian, or custodian before any questions are asked. Obviously, your mom's here. You understand that?
Yep.
Okay. And if you decide to talk to me right now, you also have the right to stop interviews at any time. You understand all that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just like the other times, I just need, these are the ones that I just advised you of. If you can just initial that you understand each one of those. And then this part here is that you understand what this is. Okay, if you can just sign it, date it, up the date. First of all, what I wanted to address with y'all, and I want you to be quite honest with me. Okay. Are you planning on getting FOP out of the country or anywhere else?
No.
Okay. Because something popped up.
I already know what it is.
Okay. You tell me.
Facebook post that I posted. Yeah, that's when they went camping. I just wanted everybody to think that they have that, like they're friends.
Okay. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to make sure that I talked to you about this. Okay, because here's the thing. If anybody has the chance of getting things straightened out in their favor, it's him. Okay.
No, I just posted
Because
that so
he
their
is-
friends wouldn't, like, just so they could just leave them alone.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that because there was Crime Stopper tips coming in, there was all kinds.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
That you were going to send him to Cuba, you were going to send him to Texas, you were going to send him to. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No,
So,
we made that up.
I don't want to make it worse on you.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
You're the only one that's had any kind of type of remorse, any kind of cooperation. Okay. And I don't want anything to turn worse than it is on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want something like that to happen to where you would be charged and or Rick, because Rick's name got brought up in that Facebook.
Oh yeah, because it says I'm with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want something to happen. You know what I mean?
That was just a joke.
Okay. So you're assuring me that's not going to
Yes,
happen?
I promise.
No,
I
I
promise.
promise.
Okay. Because I don't want it to go to that.
No.
Okay. All right. Having that said,
I knew it. I knew it.
having said that, a couple things I need to get. Okay.
A Facebook post, meant as a joke, became a lead. Rumors that the boy would be sent abroad.
Whose car was that?
Another name surfaces, Stephen Goldman, aka Calypso, infamous for his violent streak and leadership. His interview pointed fingers and exposed deeper layers of the case.
Okay, so.
Just tell him.
Okay, so.
I already know.
I know. Okay, so one of our like old friends. His name's Dizzy.
Yeah, it's Dizzy's.
Yeah, he went to jail. He went to jail and
He left Calypso.
he left Calypso the keys. But
He left the keys
no, he didn't.
for him?
Not for him. He was supposed to take it back to his house.
Okay.
His car to his house.
So Dizzy wanted him to take it
to his house.
to Dizzy's house.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Emilio, he came from Vegas, and he already.
Is that the guy that lives right by the police station?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he came back down, and he already got it. It was like already about like 5 days, and then he closed out the car. Emilio came down, and he got a call from Dizzy.
Emilio did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dizzy told Emilio to get the keys from Calypso.
Okay.
When that happened, Calypso didn't want to give him the keys.
Okay, so he didn't want
He didn't want to give him the keys. And I don't know the whole situation, what happened with that, but I just remember, he never got the keys.
No, that's
he didn't give them to him.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
So you, Calypso, and Flex, and Calypso's driving? Okay. Y'all go over to the location that y'all met up with Ahmed and Colin. Is that correct? Kind of run me through just briefly how that section came about. You know, when Colin and Ahmed came out to the vehicle. Tell me how that worked.
So we parked in front of his house. We were just sitting there, and then he didn't tell me it was a lick yet, and I was like,
He was gonna lick it.
yeah.
Okay.
He didn't tell me.
And I know what that is, but tell me what that means.
Like rob.
Okay.
And I didn't know that, so then we were all high. We were high, like high.
We all on what?
Xanax.
Just Annie's?
Xannies, weed, alcohol, cocaine,
Okay.
all kinds of stuff.
All right.
And then when he came, what I think it was, Ahmed, he came out first. He came out first, and then he got in the back seat, and
Ahmed got into the back seat?
yeah.
Okay, which?
No, he actually came up to the window first, to Calypso's window,
Okay.
and then shook his hand, and then he was like, just hop in the back, and then.
Okay, so which door did he get in?
The victims, Colin and Ahmed, were just teens dabbling in drugs. That night, they stepped into a car not knowing it would become their final ride.
This side.
The pass
left.
or the driver's side?
Driver back, yeah.
Okay.
And he got in, and then we were just chilling, and then out of nowhere, Calypso just points his gun at him, and then.
Calypso does what?
Oh no, actually it was because the weed. It was we were picking up some weed, and then he had some weed, and then Calypso was just like, "Where's the rest?" And then he's like, "This is what you wanted." And then he's like, "Well, where's the rest?" And he's like, "How much more do you need?" And that's when Calypso pulled out the gun on him.
Okay, what gun did he pull out?
That big one. What is it called? The AK handgun or whatever.
Okay, it's
That one that I'm talking about.
okay. You had previously described it as a
Like
big black.
big, yeah.
Did he call it something? I can't remember if you called it.
Like they just call it a chopper.
A chopper.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you know what caliber that one is?
No, I didn't. What did it run to? I don't know what it was. I'm pretty sure if you were just to look it up, you could find it, but
Okay.
I'm not sure what it was running to.
Okay. So he pulled it out. Where did he have it?
On the floor.
On the floor in front of him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So he pulled it out and did what?
You just pointed at him. He was like,
At Latif?
yeah.
Okay.
He was just like, just give me everything, and then started passing on him, and I'm just like, well, what do I do? So then he's like, take it, run his pocket. So then I took out his pocket, I took out his wallet, and I threw it, I put it in the mid. Like,
Okay. So you took out. He told you to get.
He told me to get out the wallet. Yeah.
Okay.
He
To get
told
the
me to
wallet.
find. He's like, does he have money? And I was like, I don't know. So I looked in his pocket, and he had a wallet. I put it in the middle, and then I took the weed from him. I put it in the middle, and then I lifted up his shirt, and he had a gun. And then I took out.
Listening to this, My heart breaks for Colin and Ahmed. They were just teens, caught up in a drug deal they thought was routine, only to face a gun and betrayal. The boy's voice trembles as he recounts Calypso's cold-blooded move, pulling a gun, demanding everything. It's a stark reminder. One bad choice, one wrong friend, can end it all. How do you process that kind of fear?
Like, what do you mean?
What happens after you get to the West Mesa?
The car sped away from the gas station toward the desolate West Mesa. Wind whipped across the barren dirt. None of them knew they were heading toward a graveyard in the making.
So we get to the Mesa, then we pull off right off of the road, off onto some dirt road, and then we go down for a little bit. Then he stops the car and he's like, get out. And he's like, get out, and then they start getting out. And then he's like, take off your boxes, and then they start taking off their boxes and stuff. And then,
So, I'm sorry, let me stop you there. So they'd already been stripped down of their shirts and their pants and stuff at that point?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
No, not really. Just like maybe their shirt and like their like shoes and stuff. But we left the pants on. And then when they got out, he was like, take off your boxes and stuff.
Okay. All right. And then what?
Then that's when he got out the car.
Who is he?
Calypso.
Okay.
He got out the car and then he shot one of them in the leg.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Glad you said that. Did anybody shoot anybody as you were driving to the West Mesa while y'all were still in the car traveling?
Nope, because because Calypso, he was getting mad. He was like getting mad, and he reached back while he was driving, and he's like, I'll shoot you in the leg right now. And I was like, I looked at him, it's like right next to me, and so I'm like, don't do that. And then he's looking at me dead in my eyes, like he wants to do it. And then I start pushing the gun my way, and then he's like, oh, he keeps saying it, and then I'm like, this is not our car, we can't. And then he's like, and then he starts driving again. But no one got shot on the way there.
So nobody got shot in the vehicle as you were traveling?
No.
Okay. Okay, so you get to the West Mesa, Calypso gets out, and I'm sorry, you said...
And then I hear the shot, and then I like look and I see that it's from his leg.
Which one?
I think it was Ahmed first.
Ahmed?
Yeah, and then I look up and then he just calls Flex, and then Flex, and then Flex gets out.
Calypso was the only one out with him at that point.
Yeah, and
then he calls Flex.
Yeah,
okay.
And then Flex.
On that lifeless land, the teens were forced to strip, trembling in the cold. A gunshot rang out, straight to the leg. The torture had only just begun.
He looks back and he's like, "Give me your gun," and I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "Just give me your gun." And I was like, "Okay." So then I gave him mine. He still has theirs. He still has the gun that he took from me, that I took from them.
Okay.
He has that one. But he takes mine, and then he goes out there, and then I just hear the shots, and I just put my head down. And then I look up, and then he's like, "Get the fuck out of the car!" And he's like, "How many put him in the truck?" And I was like,
"You say he? Who's saying
Calypso?"
Calypso's telling.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm still processing it through my head, and he's like, "Help me!" And I snapped back into reality, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And I was like, "What do I do?" And then at that point, I feel like, damn, what if I don't help him? What can happen to me? So that I help him. I put him in the trunk with him.
Okay, I'm again gonna ask you: did you shoot at all?
No, I didn't.
I just gotta ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So you never pulled the trigger on either one of the boys?
No.
Okay. Did Flex? Okay. So it was Calypso and Flex that pulled the trigger.
Yep.
Okay. And okay, so then, let me back up. What happened to Ahmed's telephone?
he threw it out. He threw it out the window, but then he made him log in on his phone. He made him log in on Flex's phone, and then you know how that's how you know how they said that they seen the snap map in the Mesa because they made him log in on their snap
on Flex's.
On Flex's phone.
Yeah. But into their account.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what they were doing. They were trying to get more weed or something. Like, I don't know.
Trying to make him get more weed?
Yeah, like just keep getting more stuff and like, I'm already like, this is greedy. This is already greedy.
And was it Collins or Ahmed's Snapchat?
It was, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was on Ahmed's Snapchat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And who threw Ahmed's phone out? Calypso did?
Yeah, he tossed it out. I think he tossed it out like before we even got to the Mesa. I think he threw it out, and then that's when we got over there, and he's like, log in on your Snap. He's like, hit up your plug. Whoever plugs you in, hit him up. And then he was like, no. And then
Latif and Romero were.
The West Mesa scene is horrifying. These kids were stripped, shot, and tortured. Their final moments filmed for some sick thrill on Snapchat. The boys stuck, torn between fear of Calypso and his own conscience screaming to stop. It's not just a crime, it's a descent into darkness. How does someone so young get pulled into this? It's a question that haunts me.
Once you put the kids back in the trunk, you go where?
we start driving. Then he starts flipping out. What do I do? No. And then he's like, who will help me? Who will help me? And then he's like, where's your uncle? And I was like, he's probably sleeping or whatever. Because it was like 6, it was like 8, actually. No, it was pretty early in there. He was like, so where's your uncle? And I was like, I don't know. Text him, and then he starts texting or that. I didn't know what he was texting. Then he calls him up.
So he calls.
Yeah, he calls him. He's texting my uncle. They have their own relationship. I have my own relationship with my uncle.
I'm just clarifying some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he calls him up like, I need your help. And he's like giving him words. He's like, I got 2. And my uncle's like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh no, actually, he calls his dad first. Calypso calls his dad first. And he's like, I need help. I fucked up. And his dad was like, I don't know what to do with you, dude. You're fucking up too much. And then he starts yelling with his dad on the phone. And that's when he hangs up.
What did he tell his dad?
I need help or something. He's like, I need help. He said, I need help. I fucked up, Dad. And then I wasn't really paying. I don't really remember. But then they were just yelling at each other on the phone. And then he hung up on him.
Who hung up?
Calypso
hung up on his dad. Okay.
And then that's when he's like, what is your uncle doing? I was like, I don't know. He's probably sleeping or something. And he calls him up. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he was just like, just driving around. He's like, meet me ASAP. I got 2. My uncle's like, what? He's like, I'm not saying it on the phone. Just meet me. I got 2 in my trunk. And he's like, my uncle's like, what? And then he's like, can you just meet me? And he started yelling. And he's like, my uncle's like, yeah, where at? And then they met up at this, off the freeway right there.
Did he tell your uncle that you were with him?
I think, no, he didn't tell him. He when we pulled up, he saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
I'm pretty sure he figured you were.
Yeah. He probably knew I was with him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we pulled up to this, there's this Motel 6 right there by that Buffalo Wild Wing on the freeway. And we pull up to the back, and then my uncle's sitting in his car, in his rental car. And then Calypso, he starts talking to him, and then that's when I was
No
like,
adult tried to stop them. In fact, they helped. The suspect's uncle helped hide the bodies. Goldman's father took the car and burned it, erasing evidence like a seasoned criminal.
and I was like, you guys need to watch this car driving around like this. And then he's like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You never done this before. I was like, yeah, but if I was, I would be smarter than this. And then he starts screaming. He's like, you're just a little fucking kid. You don't know anything about this shit.
Who started yelling?
So he starts yelling at me, and then he's like, you don't know anything about this shit. And then my uncle's like, just be quiet, Papa. And And I was like, alright, so I'm just thinking in my head, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm still going through this shit in my head. And he gets out the car, starts smoking a cigarette with my uncle. They're talking outside of the car. I don't know.
So you don't know what they're saying?
Nope. Them three out the car. And they get back in the car. And he's like, Flex get in the car with him. Flex gets in the car with him.
So Flex gets in the car with...
my uncle, yeah.
Okay. In his rental car.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, and then I stayed in the back. I stayed in the back while he's in the front. Even though Flex got out, I stayed in the back.
Okay.
And then he's like, I was like, where are they going? And then they're like, they're about to go to the Home Depot. They're about to go to Home Depot and get a shovel or something. I was like, what are you guys about to do? He's like, don't worry about it. And then we pull up to Calypso's house. We pull up like down the road from his house, Calypso's house, and then he's like, start cleaning out the car, Papa. And I was like, what do you want me to clean? And he's like, just take out like all their clothes, just put it in a bag. And I was like, all right. So I put it in a bag, and then he takes it from me and gives it to Flex. And then he gives it to.
So did you all go back to Calypso's house at that point?
But down the road, and we parked right behind each other.
Okay.
We're just sitting there in the car, and he's like, they're just talking. They're like, Dad, this is where I hear it. They're just like parking. They park next to each other after I cleaned out the back seat or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, he puts the guns in the trunk. And
of which car?
My uncle's rental.
Okay.
He puts them in the trunk. And then me and Calypso get into his car.
Into
my uncle's.
And
my uncle gets into the Buick.
To the Buick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Flex and him, they drive off. And
then do you know when Anthony went to the store to get the cleanup stuff?
No, they haven't did it.
They haven't did
it. No, they haven't done it.
Right.
And then
I had to clarify that.
Yeah, no, I should have said that before. And then they followed us back to the house, and then that's when that happened. And then we switched cars, and they drove off, and I was like, so where are they going, to the store? And they're like, he's like, yup. And then he's like, back out. And then he's like, back out to the Mesa. And
so Anthony and Flex is in the white Buick.
White Buick with
them. And they take off, and the two bodies are in the trunk.
Mm-hmm. Around like 11 o'clock. That's when he was up, that they were missing or whatever. And then he was like...
The next morning, the teen awoke to a violent shake. Missing person alerts had gone public. On his phone were the faces of Colin and Ahmed. Reality was crashing down fast.
He woke me up from my sleep like, get up. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, we gotta go. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, let's go, we gotta go. And I was like, okay, so I'm waking up. I'm putting my sweats on. And I'm barely getting up. I'm like, what's happening, bro? And he shows me the phone. And it has both of their faces on it, on the crime watch or whatever. And I was like, what is it saying or whatever? And he's just like, that they're missing and that the last person they were with was me. And I need to leave. So I was like, all right.
Calypso.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I was like, all right, dude. Where are you? Where are we going? He was just like, he's like, well, we need to find Flex. And we picked up Flex from, I don't know where. I don't know where he was. Yeah, I think he was at one of his homies' house or something. We picked him up. He's like, we gotta go. How much money you got on him? He's like, at least 200. I had like 500. He had like 800 or some shit. Close. He's like, all right, bet. We're gonna take a trip. Take a trip to.
Let me ask you a quick question. And I asked you once before, and I think I remember what you said. So when y'all had the kid, Ahmed and Colin, how much money did y'all take off of?
Like $80.
You are total.
What do you mean? Like how much I got?
No.
I didn't even get none.
Total.
What do you mean? Total out of all the money? It was like 80 in his wallet, and then no, actually I think he had like 100.
He had some money.
Yeah.
And y'all took that money?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't get none of it.
Okay. That's what I remember you telling me that they took it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, let's go forward a little bit. When did your uncle...
The moment the victims' faces appeared on missing person alerts, Calypso panicked. He gathered his cash and fled.
When those missing person alerts popped up, reality crashed down. Calypso's panic shows he knew the walls were closing in, but the boy's reaction, confusion, fear, guilt feels so human. He's not a monster. He's a kid in over his head, surrounded by people who failed him. This case isn't just about murder. It's about a system and society that let these teens slip through the cracks.
That kind of clears something up for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Calypso goes to Portland.
Yep.
Okay, and then we know what is taking place over
Yeah.
there. All right, so I think I got everything from you. Now I just got a question for you. I need to be honest with you. Okay?
Can I go use the restroom?
Give me just a minute because I gotta go too.
Okay.
Let's go back just a little bit.
Sure.
When Anthony had the Buick,
Mm-hmm.
were you with Anthony and Samantha and
Priscilla.
what is it?
Priscilla.
Was it Priscilla or was it transgender chick?
I don't know her.
Oh, no, that's
I
fine.
don't know her. Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about, though? Okay. Were you with him in the Buick?
The father, once a supposed protector, told the boy to get used to the life of killing. In that room, emotional numbness wasn't a flaw, but a legacy passed down like inheritance.
When he takes the vehicle up to Priscilla in Bernalillo. Okay, so you were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just needed the truth on that. Okay. All right. So, was he going to try to clean it up there at Priscilla's or something?
I thought he was gonna leave it there,
Okay.
and Priscilla was supposed to take us back to his apartment.
Okay.
Is that when we had the rental?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I understood everything.
But I don't know. He ended up taking off, and I stayed eating because Priscilla had made dinner.
Right.
He took off at 1, and Priscilla in the red car that they picked up off on. And they were gone for hours.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure because obviously I talked to Anthony.
Yeah.
And I just want everything out and make sure that nothing's being left out. He's been extremely cooperative, like you. So, and we had a good long talk this last time when I went up. So.
I finally got to talk to him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if my phone was blocked or something. I don't know.
So,
It's
but
court today.
oh, that is right. Today is today. Supposedly,
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Sorry, he's there. Yes.
he is up there.
He's already. How do you
Yep.
know?
I seen it on Snap.
You have him on Snapchat.
No, it's Jada.
She's over there too.
So he went up for
So what are they gonna do?
They're all together.
What are they
Yeah,
gonna
they're all
do?
together. I already seen it.
Well, my guess is he's going up to try to intimidate Anthony.
My brother. That's funny.
Well, that's what he said
That's
too.
funny.
That's what he
Trying to do
said
that
too.
to my brother. That is some funny shit.
And I gotta say, they're watching.
Who? Calypso's family?
No.
Calypso tried to flee, but he won't get far. Police are watching every move of the family. The curtain is falling on this crime, but its stain will linger forever.
Police
They're
watching him.
and prosecution.
His dad.
Oh.
I was actually gonna go up there and surprise him.
His dad.
Yeah.
I know. I seen it. All him, his brother. I mean him, his.
Well, because that's where
Her.
they're from, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. No, I'd already knew about it.
Yeah.
So.
How did you find out?
Oh, I got ways.
That's weird, because that's what my brother told me. He's like, Carter came to see me, and he said that Calypso's dad is coming to my sentencing, and that not to be intimidated or let him scare me. Oh, we just started laughing.
Yeah.
The day after.
After I told you?
she's all posting palm trees. She had
Everything in Vegas.
like when you slide over, you can like it shows you like Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah.
It'll tell you where you're at, and then she's all posting everywhere.
They're funny.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
funny because they're
I was
trying to
like,
do that to my
wow.
brother. My brother's funny.
I was like, wow, they're really going. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to the court.
My mom's over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're watching for him. So.
He's gonna go.
Oh,
If he
fine.
said he's gonna go, he's gonna go. But what is? I know my brother's like, what is he gonna do? Shoot me in the courtroom?
Yeah. No, he's gonna mad dog you,
And then
is what he's gonna do.
that's funny.
Yeah.
My brother's gonna laugh at him. I swear to God, that's what he's gonna. I already know my brother. He's gonna laugh at him.
So, the last thing I got for you. Be honest with me.
Oh.
Oh, I already seen it.
Huh?
I already seen it.
What is it?
I already seen it.
Tell me what it is. Be honest with me.
The YouTube video from me running.
I told you.
From what?
From running in Walgreens, in Vegas.
Who took the video?
Let me see. Who took what?
Who took
Look
the
at
video?
it. See what it is.
Let me see.
Who took the video?
See what it is.
I don't know.
See what it is. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's security cameras.
Oh.
That's security cameras.
Is it the video?
But the good thing about that, I'm good on that because I never hopped the counter. So I never.
Who hopped the counter?
Calypso and that dude right there.
Who's that dude?
One of his homies.
Calypso wasn't just a murderer. Almano froze when he learned he'd been tied to multiple robberies. But for a teen raised by an uncle who helped hide corpses, this descent into ruin seemed sadly inevitable. Julio Almontero now faces multiple serious charges: first-degree murder, armed robbery, federal pharmacy conspiracy, and evidence tampering. With these charges, a life sentence or even the death penalty is highly likely. But beyond the legal punishment lies something darker: the collapse of a young soul shaped by indifference from family, friends, and a broken society.